Okay, here's my cornbread mix. So I've added the 5 beaten eggs, and this is the vegetables that I have left. So I actually did use most of it. So I have just a little bit left over. So okay, that's all mixed up in there. And now I'm going to start adding my chicken broth. So what I usually do is I put my seasonings in the chicken broth, and then as I'm pouring it in the cornbread mix, it's easier to distribute it. So I usually use, I don't know, maybe a teaspoon of salt. Um, Let me get a little bit more. So that's basically two teaspoons of salt. Um, then I'm going to add pepper. So maybe I'll add 1 big teaspoon of pepper. So I'm putting this in the chicken broth so I can mix it up. Then I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of poultry seasoning. And you're going to add these seasonings for each of the pans of cornbread you made. So what I'm doing right now is basically only for 1 pan of cornbread. So then you're going to times it times 4, because that's how many, I'm sorry, times 5, because that's how many cornbread pans that I have in here and the 1 bag of seasoning mix. So for every 1 pan of cornbread, you're going to do at least 2 teaspoons of poultry seasoning and maybe a teaspoon and a half of the sage. So basically you're going to put in 10 teaspoons of poultry seasoning and maybe 6 teaspoons of sage altogether. So what I mostly go by is, okay, I put that in for the basics and then I taste it and see how it is from there. And then if you need to add more poultry seasoning, which is what makes it taste the way it tastes, then you can do that. It's better to do too little and then add than to do too much. So that's it. So the seasonings that you're putting in there are salt, pepper, poultry seasoning, and sage. Um, so for the salt, since I have 5 um, cornbread pans and a seasoning bag, I would say 4 to 5 teaspoons of salt. Like I said, about 10 teaspoons of the poultry seasoning, and maybe, I don't know, 5, 6, or 7 of the sage, and pepper, um, maybe 3 or maybe 4, 3 or 4. Okay, that's it for this video. Bye.